exactly what happens in the White House. So I think that would be outstanding.
That's actually true.
It
Have you
is
looked
true.
into
That's
any of
why I
that? I
said. Well, of
know.
course, that's why I said it.
It's stunning. Have you looked into any of that? I mean, is there some sort of justification? Does it when you drill into the
Well, what
analysis?
here? No, yes, I have, and here's what they say. Um, and this in and of itself is sexist. The reason that there's a discrepancy is because the women tend to have the lower positions, hence the lower paying jobs, while the flip side is true for the men. So, dude, it's a double edged. Well, yeah, it's sexist and wrong all the way around.
Well, here's the thing: is I assume that that was the case. I assume that there's a reason. Hey, a junior assistant to an undersecretary is going to get paid less than a secretary level position. I totally get that. But what pointing out that discrepancy does is it forces them to give a defense that actually applies to the
Damn,
marketplace itself.
that's awesome.
And it's just the irony of it is fantastic. I mean, the president has mentioned this several times, the wage gap for women, and they should be paid, equal work, equal play,
Whole
blah blah
bit.
blah blah
All
blah.
right, listen, we got 7 minutes maybe. Jessica, how long is the Cheney clip? Short, right?
Yeah, it's like a minute and a half.
All right, so house him. Dick Cheney, I mean, this guy has for years, just alienated. I mean, the left hates him, the way he talks. I mean, I admire the hell out of him. I don't get it. But he was on with Brett Baer last night, um, weighing in on, as I said, the CIA torture report. Let's just run with what the liberals call it. And as to be expected, he was not real happy. I put this up, by the way, this morning on IJ, or you can go see the clip, and I got some other stuff there. So anyway, I don't think after we hear this clip, Michael, we're going to have any doubt about how Darth Vader feels about the findings of that report. Jessica, let's
Okay,
hear it.
awesome. Let's hear it.
I guess partly what really bugs me as I watch all this process unfold is the men and women of the CIA did exactly what we wanted to have them do in terms of taking on this program. We said, we've got to go use enhanced techniques that we're going to find out. And we've got Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who's the mastermind of 9/11, who has killed 3,000 Americans, taken down the World Trade Center, hit the Pentagon, would have taken out the White House or the Capitol building if, in fact, they hadn't been for the passengers on United 93. He is in our possession. We know he's the architect. And what are we supposed to do? Kiss him on both cheeks and say, please, please, tell us what you know? Of course not. We did exactly what needed to be done in order to catch those who were guilty on 9/11 and to prevent a further attack. And we were successful on both parts.
This
and
report says it was not
The
successful.
report's full of crap, excuse me. I said hooey yesterday. Let me use the real word.
You're on cable.
It's okay. You can bleep it. Yeah, okay.
But you're saying that this led to actionable intelligence.
Absolutely. Look at the statement by the former directors and deputy directors of the CIA issued just within the last 24 hours. It did, in fact, produce actionable intelligence that was vital in the success of keeping the country safe from further attacks.
Mr. Vice President, some of
Dude, I think he thinks the report's full of crap.
Yeah, I've heard that. And frankly, I don't know what to think. Of course, you're going to expect the CIA to say that. Here's my position on that. And by the way, have you noticed on Facebook that there are two other IJR writers who've come out on their Facebook walls in complete opposition to one another in terms of their perspective?
I have not, but I think I know who one of them is.
All right,
Just
well,
by virtue of you saying, I'm not going to mention, but yeah, off air, tell you who I think it would be, and who would be thinking that, yeah, this is the worst thing in the history of the universe.
Yeah, one guy came out and said, "Can't believe we got involved in doing anything like this at all. This is America. We don't treat people like that." The other guy came out and said, "Thousands of people died, and I could give a crap about the hurt feelings about having water dripped on or in order to save potentially thousands of more American lives."
Yeah, exactly, man. So that's the age-old argument. Of course, the age-old response is, if your child were being held somewhere and you believed beyond a shadow of a doubt that you had an hour to get some information out of someone in front of you, would you waterboard them, or would you say, nope, I'm morally opposed to that, I'm above that, we're better than that, and let your child die? In every instance, I've heard this asked multiple times of liberals opposed to waterboarding. Of course I would. How hypocritical is that?
It's totally hypocritical. And so what's going to happen is you talk to a lefty like that, and they would say no. At this point, they understand the trap in the game, and they would say no.
Well, they might say no right now, but you and I know damn well that they would.
Oh, they're standing there, and their wife is looking at them, and they're saying, are you freaking kidding me? Little Wingspan and Trout have been accosted and stolen, and that guy knows where they are? Absolutely.
There's no question. I don't remember who it was. I don't remember if it was, this was last night, if it was Brian Williams or Anderson Cooper. It was one of the two, because I watched so many different clips. And talking to Michael Hayden, right, retired Air Force general, former CIA director, I believe it was Brian Williams, the more I ask, the more this runs through my mind. And he basically, he took the flip side of the coin question. He said if Mr. Hayden, whatever, General Hayden, if one of your family members, if you found out that they were involved in, not as victims, but in doing waterboarding and such and some of the other techniques, or the interrogation techniques that were in this report, how would you feel about that? And Hayden didn't bat an eye. And he said, I think my response would be muted if those family members had just flown planes into buildings and killed 3,000 people.
Well, there you go. Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing, oh, we got 1 minute. The other thing that bothers me about it is like, well, torture doesn't work and blah, blah, blah. I mean, people at this point know that if using your analogy, if some guy knew, I wouldn't beat him to the point where he would tell me anything at all. I would try to do it in such a way, and obviously these people have studied this and they understand this, is to create fright, terror, an amount of pain, etc.
Okay, let me say this real quick.
To get the thing done.
Real quickly, that's not how waterboarding works, and I'm going to explain it when we come back. This is The Right Mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum. Don't go away. Jennifer Van Laar joining us after the break, and I mean it. Do not go anywhere. Zero.
Hi, this is Taylor, and while you're listening to all the other great shows here on Vigilant Liberty Radio, be sure to check out my show on Saturday nights called Saturday Night Cigar Lounge. You never know what we're going to talk about. It's always a fun time. That's Saturday Night Cigar Lounge, Saturday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, here on Vigilant Liberty Radio.
At Independent Journal Review, we publish news that is objective, fair, and entertaining. As one of the top websites in the United States, it's our duty to bring the absolute best to our readers. Readers like you. IJReview.com, your number one source for news and entertainment.
Hey, this is Alfonso Rachel with 20 Pound Sledge and PJTV Zone Nation, and you're listening to VLR.
Hi, I'm Dustin Hoyt with America Our Way, and you can hear me right here on Vigilant Liberty Radio at 10/9 Central on Thursday nights. We bring you the best and political commentary from the right wing, conservative, libertarian perspectives coming together and bringing the best content on the internet. Be sure to tune in every week for your favorite shows. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis from the Daily Caller, and you are listening to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
At Independent Journal Review, we publish news that is objective, fair, and entertaining. As one of the top websites in the United States, it's our duty to bring the absolute best to our readers. Readers like you. IJReview.com, your number one source for news and entertainment.
Listening to The Right Mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum. Now, for the next hour, if you'd like to call in, please do. The number's 412-567-6879. We are more than interested in your phone calls, whatever topic you might have, feedback on what Mike and I are talking about. Or if you just want to call in and tell us how much you appreciate us, what we have to say, and the manner in which we say it. Also, you can follow us on Twitter, interact with us there, even during the show. That happened quite a bit yesterday. The Twitter handle is at The Right Mics, and our website. Check that out and subscribe to it. Every day after the show, we put up the archive links to the topics we're talking about, articles, and other fun stuff. That is therightmics.us. Now, as you know, Mike and I both write for IJReview.com, the number one source on the web for conservative news and entertainment. Also, one of my very close personal friends here from Southern California, and a writer at IJR.
And friend of both of our shows.
And friend of both of our previous shows. Jen Van Laar is on. Jen, well, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Hey,
I'm
Jen.
great now that I got hot chocolate in me on this brisk California morning.
I know. It's like, is it raining up there in Simi?
Nope. Just cloudy.
Yeah, it is. It's, well, I could see a little bit of sun, but it's supposed to rain here all day. And we can make reference because, Jessica and Miller are East Coast time, so they're well into our afternoon, where you and I can still make reference to good morning.
Yes.
Yeah, but why you guys complain about rain? You could be, well, no, but it's cloudy. I better stay inside just in case it rains tonight. I just find it relatively hysterical. Move out here for a while.
I went to college in Boston, okay? I walked along the Charles River one January, and that was enough.
There you go.
I did my time.
And Mike, you do have to understand that everything is relative. I mean, when I considered, I actually have a sweatshirt. I have a sweatshirt sitting right next to my desk here. When I went out this morning, I put on the shorts and t-shirt per usual. I actually considered whether or not to bring the sweatshirt, and I elected to not do so. But that is akin to my brother in Minnesota trying to figure out if he needs boot, glove, jacket warmers, a third layer of jacket, ear coverings. It's all relative, Mike.
I understand.
And we're going to get 25-foot waves with this storm. So, of course, Hausum's much closer to the water than I am.
And you guys are getting a bunch of
flood.
You guys are getting a bunch of rain, too. Jennifer, are you getting the same rain that Hausum's going to get?
Probably more. We're a little, because I'm further north.
Ooh.
Right. Yeah, she's about, 65 miles from me, Jen? 70 miles, something like that?
Probably, yeah.
And depending on the day, that's anywhere between 1 hour and 4 hours time difference.
Exactly.
I love the in-depth California weather report we're having
I know,
right now.
you know.
Thank you.
Because everyone cares about California and what happens here.
All
Actually,
I'm saying
au contraire, everyone doesn't care about what happens in California.
Oh no.